While Next Generation 911 promises life-saving improvements, rural communities often face unique challenges in adopting new technology. And that's our topic for today on TiPS, Today in Public Safety.
Welcome to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Here's your host, Fletch, with today's tips.
Welcome to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your trusted source for updates and insights on emergency communications and NG911 technology. I'm your host, Fletch, and today we're tackling an important topic, implementing Next-Gen 911 in rural areas. First, let's talk about the challenges. Rural areas usually face huge hurdles when it comes to NG911 deployments. For starters, infrastructure can be a major roadblock. Many rural regions still lack reliable broadband, which is critical for high-speed data transmission required by NG911. Without that strong connectivity, even the most advanced systems can't function effectively. Another big issue is funding. NG911 upgrades come with hefty price tags. After all, it's typically a rip and replace. And those rural communities often don't have the same tax base or grant opportunities as urban areas. And this can make it much harder to secure the necessary resources for upgrades. And then another area faced nationwide, but specifically in rural areas, is staffing. Typically in smaller communities, the pool of trained emergency telecommunicators is often limited. And it can be a challenge to recruit and retain the appropriate personnel who can adapt to the advanced features that NG911 offers. So what's the solution? Well, despite these challenges, some rural areas are making strides towards implementing Next-Generation 911 with innovative solutions. One of the most promising strategies is leveraging state and federal funding programs. The 911 grant program, for instance, provides funding specifically for NG911 projects. And by applying for these grants, rural communities can offset costs and make upgrades more attainable. Another solution is collaboration. Rural areas can start to band together and form a regional network. By pooling those resources and sharing the infrastructure, they're able to achieve economies of scale that reduce the overall cost per jurisdiction. And this approach also helps with the interoperability required, which ensures a seamless communication infrastructure across neighboring areas. Broadband access is another critical piece of the puzzle. Public-private partnerships with internet service providers often can help expand connectivity in those underserved areas. Programs like the FCC's Rural Digital Opportunity Fund aim to close the broadband gap, which in turn supports NG911 readiness. The human element. Now let's talk about the people behind the system. In most cases, training is key to successful NG911 deployment. Rural agencies with limited budgets are increasingly turning to virtual training platforms, allowing them to upskill their telecommunicators. These platforms and programs provide cost-effective ways to learn NG911 from a systems perspective without requiring travel or expensive in-person on-site sessions. And beyond technology training, mental health support for 911 staff is absolutely critical. Telecommunicators in smaller communities often juggle multiple roles, and the transition to NG911 can add additional stress. Being aware of this and establishing wellness programs that are tailored to rural PSAPs are becoming more common and can go a long way in retaining skilled staff. Wrapping it all up. So what's the bottom line? Implementing NG911 in rural areas comes with its own set of challenges. But with innovative funding strategies, regional collaboration, and a focus on training and wellness, these seemingly unsurpassable barriers can be overcome. If you're working in a rural area and looking to start or improve the Next Generation 911 journey at your agency, don't hesitate to reach out for resources or advice. You can always find out more information about training and funding opportunities on the NENA website at www.nena.org. And feel free to send in your questions or share your stories on the various message groups. Thanks for tuning in to TiPS Today in Public Safety. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment or review. And if you have a topic suggestion, we'll take that too. Thanks so much for listening. And of course, if you're in public safety, thanks for what you do every day. This is Fletch. Until next time, stay safe and stay informed. Take care.
You've been listening to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Hosted by Fletch and available every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Catch past episodes, transcripts, and show notes with source links for each article on 911tips.com. That's 911tips.com. Be sure to like and subscribe, and remember to join us each week for the latest on NG911. I am Spider Harrison, the official 911 voiceover dude. Catch me on Sirius XM on various channels, including 90s on 9, the 10 spot, and on the Weekend Countdown on Hits 1. Or don't regret it for the rest of your life. Either way, I'm good. TiPS is brought to you by 911 Inform, the leading next-generation 911 solution for enterprise compliance with federal 911 regulations. Visit them on the web at 911inform.com. 911 Inform, making every second count when it matters the most.